It's your boy Bless, and super happy to have this homeboy right here with me. He's been in the stunt scene for probably over 10 years. I know since I started riding, he was already fucking on and cracking. So I'm fucking super happy to have him here. This dude's like a legend in the game. We got the homeboy fam right here, Stuntfarm. Go ahead and say what's up, my boy.
What's good? What's good?
Hell yeah, fuck yeah. Happy to have you here, dog.
Thanks.
So fuck it. I guess the first question I got for you, like fucking all riders ask all riders, what was your first bike and when did you start riding, dog?
I started riding when I was 16. Well, actually, I started riding when I was 13.
Okay.
13 years old. By 12 years old, I was already driving a car and stuff to school and everything.
Oh,
so
shit.
I was, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I was like ahead of my time. All my family members, I'm the oldest of the next generation, so I hung out with the generation above me.
Okay.
So all my older cousins and uncles and stuff they're a lot older. So I started driving when I was like 11 years old. So I had a VW.
Oh shit.
I had my own bug. So by the summer when I was 12, I turned 13. My birthday's in the summer, so I turned 13. My VW was done, and I was already driving that shit to school.
Damn, that's sick.
And then, all my cousins and uncles and stuff, they had motorcycles, street bikes and stuff.
Oh, shit.
They go cruising in the scene in the Bay Area. I'm from San Jose, California.
All right.
So they go cruising in the scene. So I got myself a little nifty 50. The little YSR 50s. Back in the 90s. This is like early 90s, 91, 89, 91.
Oh, shit.
So I was cruising on a little YSR 50 for a while. It was all custom out, paint job and all that shit, pinstripes and shit on it.
Oh, yeah.
So that little nifty 50 is probably my first bike,
Yeah.
But when I got my regular license at 16, I had a motorcycle license at the same time.
Oh, shit.
So now I'm 47, so
Damn.
31
30
years
damn.
plus,
30,
with the
with
count the 50.
with the little smaller,
on the 50, because it was in the streets, so, it's a street legal
And
bike.
you're still smashing. You're still out there getting
dipping.
it.
Yeah, getting it, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
what was your first bike when you were 16?
When I was 16, I had a YSR 600.
YSR 600?
Yeah, basically like what the R6 is now.
All right. Yeah, it's Yamaha, yeah.
It's a Yamaha, yeah.
All right.
It was an 89.
89.
The double headlights.
Fucking, were you already throwing it up and shit back then?
Nah, to tell you the truth, I didn't even start doing wheelies until 01, something like that, 2001.
All right.
Actually, those are just like little pop-ums and stuff like that. I was in the military at the time, and I was getting out of the military, and my best friend, who lived here in El Monte, I would travel with him because I was going to school at Cerritos College, and he had a motorcycle, and he was in a bike club out here.
Okay.
Yeah, called Jesus Tribe. What up to Jesus Tribe?
All right.
He's from Jesus Tribe.
Oh, yeah.
And he would wheelie. So at that time, I picked up a CBR 1000. That's actually like the first bike I was like wheeling on of all bikes to wheelie on. So I had the CBR 1000, and that's the first bike I like dedicated wheelies to and stuff like that.
Oh shit. So, how was that? Was it like just straight power wheelies?
It was straight power wheelies, yeah.
Using the foot brake and shit, or
just
fucking
all
throttle?
It was all throttle at first, you know what I mean? Yeah, all throttle at first back in the days.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, where was the stunt scene at back then? Like,
man, to tell you the truth, there wasn't really a stunt scene. You know, you had in regards to streets, there was no street stunt scene. You had the bike clubs, the biker dudes. You know what I mean? Like my homie was. And they would crack some wheelies and stuff like that. But they were just, it was about the pow pows and stock sprockets and power wheelies, and that's where it was. I mean, there wasn't anybody who was like a stunt rider.
Yeah.
They're in parking lots. You know what I mean? They're dedicating themselves to try to be the best in the game. You know, and that's like that. That's before the scene, even came about.
So you were there for the start of the scene. Tell me about it, dog. Like, how did it crack off, or like what?
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of like related to skateboarding.
Okay.
Because I remember skateboarding era. I was a big part of that skateboarding era too. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So street riding, those are the bad boys. Those are the poor kids. Those are us urban guys. You know what I mean? We can't afford vert ramps in our backyard and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much where stunt riding was when I focused on solely stunt riding.
I feel you.
Around 2004 is when I ended up joining Rough Riders.
Okay.
And And then from there, I wanted to just develop myself into a stunt rider. Like I fixated on stunt riding solely.
Oh yeah.
But back at that time frame, it was just people getting an FRI, a beat up ass bike, and just going to the parking lot and just practicing the circle wheelies and stuff like that. There were stunt shows, and that's it. There was a couple competitions out, and that's about it.
Yeah.
There was no street scene at all. Yeah, street riding at all. Like street rides, you had Ride of the Century, and that was about it.
Fuck.
That's it. The one ride in the whole nation.
When was that? 2004 or 5?
2004 and 5.
All right,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So you seen these guys doing that, and when you're from an urban area, it's all about your kicks, your outfit, and this and that, and the scene wasn't there. The scene was like get a beat up FRI and go to the parking lot, drop that shit a million times until you figure out how to do circle wheelies or do the tricks that you're working on.
Oh yeah.
And then I came to the scene and powder coating and chroming bikes and all that stuff, and these guys, they're looking at us. They're really street riders. When we started riding streets and throwing street rides, they were looking at us like we're the. First, they looked down on us because we didn't have the parking lot skills and stuff set yet, But we're out there on chrome bikes and powder coated bikes, doing this stuff, But at the end of the day, you don't get a motorcycle for one reason. You know what I mean? To pull bitches, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna pull no, you ain't gonna pull no bitch on a dirty ass bike. You know what I mean?
They don't know what time it is.
No, that's the problem. Like these guys were in it for the sport of it. We were in it for the pussy of it. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get laid. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Just like the same reason you put on a fresh outfit and you keep your kicks clean and all that stuff. And these guys didn't understand that.
Yeah.
So we're the controversial element of the scene. We came from the. We came from the bike clubs and we liked what they were doing, but we wanted to do it with our spin. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There was already pro riders in the, there was already the stunt circuit starting to come out.
All right.
But the whole swag side of it, didn't exist. It's like the skateboarding, the vert ramps. Those guys were making all the money, but those are the rich kids.
Yeah, they
don't want to get in trouble. They're not skateboarding on the streets and out there, getting kicked out of places. Putting the risk in, to get in jail. So it's kind of like where the stunt scene was. These guys, I don't, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but they're like more dorky. You know what I'm saying? They're not Their Friday night consists of going to the stunt spot and practicing all day long. You know, and I respect that. I respect their game. I respect their skills, but we did it for a whole different reason. You know what I'm saying? We did it for respect. We did it for it was never about the money for us.
Just for the thrill.
For the thrill.
For the lifestyle.
Yeah, for the lifestyle. To say you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we were doing a lot of shit and not even recording any of it and all that stuff. I was like, damn, I wish I would have recorded all the shit I did. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
You know what I mean? You feel like one of them old man's like, I caught a fish this fucking day. You know what I mean?
Can't even. I don't have a picture of it.
Yeah, you don't even have a picture of it. Nothing, So that's kind of where the scene was. So we were a different element. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to do. Yeah, our wheelies weren't where their wheelies were at. You know what I mean? And it's not a us versus them thing anymore. Everything's blending now. It's starting to blend a lot more. But our wheelies weren't there. But I'm like, if I'm gonna wheelie on a chromed out fucking bike, full plastics, $1,000 paint jobs and all that shit,
Yeah.
So that was our thing. It's like, and people would rather watch that stuff, somebody wheeling down the street, action going on and all that stuff, instead of these guys doing these amazing and their talent is, the guys that do dedicate their life to the parking lot. They have a lot of talent and have a lot of skill and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it takes a lot of awareness and alertness to do what we do on the street, and with the risks that are at the things that are at risk for what we do. So that's where the respect part came in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I respect your talent and stuff like that, but respect our risk, our talent, and what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's definitely a lot harder to fucking fuck around in the streets than in the lots.
Well, you're gambling more is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, the wheelies in the streets, they are more basic, if you want to call it that, compared to some of the technical stuff that's going on. But you can't fall in the street.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's like one thing
you can fall in the street, but
you got to be ready to get up or whatever. Like, because that's one thing I noticed. Like, I fucked around. I'm not no stunt or anything like that. I fucked around, try to practice my wheelies and shit. But I know, like in the lot, it's like you're in a fucking you're in a smooth lot where you're good, everything's fucking open, like
You know
where
where the
you're in
potholes are at. You know there's a bump
yeah,
coming.
wow, when you're in the streets, you don't know what the fuck. Like you're fucking hitting it on a random street. You don't know what bump there is, and that shit could fuck you up.
You know the condition of the road.
Yeah.
You could have been on that road a day ago.
Yeah.
And now there's debris on the road that you didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's there now. So even if the road is familiar to you, it's the conditions are unpredictable. You know what I mean? You go to a parking lot or you go somewhere, a safe place to ride. You
know how you already know it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still the skill level's still hard and all that stuff, but it's a different type of element, like a different type of decision making.
I love streets. I always was trying to hit the streets, and that shit was fun when I was doing the damn thing.
Yeah, the excitement's there and all that stuff. And now the scene's to where like everybody's kind of doing everything. There's a lot of guys out there that are talented in the parking lot and in the streets.
For sure.
So the scenes came a long way. Shit, we're 20 years now.
You said there wasn't like sprockets and all that shit. Like when did all that stuff? Like how did that start?
There was sprockets, but it was for the
like
technical
the
guys.
handbrakes and shit like that and all that.
Like, the handbrakes, all that stuff just came a crazy long way. Right? Like, it started off with stock hand master cylinders.
Oh, just like tapping in and shit.
Flipped upside down. And you put it on the left side, and then you would tap it into the existing brake system.
Shit.
And then dual calipers came out with dual single piston calipers. Basically your stock foot caliper, and then you put a second one dedicated line to it. And so I know there's a few guys that are still semi around, old school guys that I looked up to when I came up in the scene.
Okay. That
just still rock that, still rock the tap. There's a couple, just a few. You know what I mean? Troy Hoff is one of them. You know what I mean? He's one of my boys, and he writes for our brand. And he still rocks the tap. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit upgraded junction valve for the tap, but it's that shit is.
That's dope.
He's dope. He kills it on that stuff.
Hell yeah.
So
So you said you were in a club. You went from the military into the club, or
Well, when I first got out, I went to school and I did the office thing, suit and tie and all that stuff.
All right.
But I was riding that whole time, and I didn't go right into a club. I was out of the military for about 3 or 4 years, and my best friend was in one club, and I really didn't want to join a club because like I said, I'm from the Bay Area, so. Down south in LA, street politics are a little bit different than it is up there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I didn't kind of like the vibe. The vibe wasn't my thing. You know what I mean? The color separation, where I'm from,
I feel you.
It's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really didn't want to join a club because of that reason.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just felt like I wasn't being myself.
I feel you.
So I heard about Rough Riders. I knew who they were and this and that. But one day I was at a bike night, Frisco's bike night. And,
okay, I remember,
Yeah, I was at Frisco's bike night with these two guys that I used to go ride canyons with. We would go ride canyons and bust in the canyons and stuff. And I was just with the two dudes, and Rough Riders came in. And I had always heard about them, but I had never seen them. So they come rolling in. They're deep. They're like 80, 90 deep or something like that, you know? But, like, every dude had a neck. Every dude, when they come rolling up, they just had this stupid swag, like... You know what I mean? Like it was a white boy, he had swag. It was, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Even though it's probably predominantly considered a black club, but it was, you know what I mean? Like,
but they accept everyone.
Yeah, they accept everyone. Yeah. So and it was so my style.
That's dope.
So and when they got there, it was funny because like I said, you get a bike, it's about pulling ass. You know what I mean? It's about getting pulling bitches and shit. And you can just tell when there's probably. At Frisco's, there's probably 2,000 bikes there on a good night.
Yeah,
maybe it could even be 3,000. Maybe it was cracking. Everybody shows up there thick. Every club goes max members.
Yeah.
When they showed up, the whole aura of the whole bike night changed.
Oh shit.
It was dumb. You know what I mean? The whole aura just.
Yeah.
They showed up and all the girls, you know what I mean? Setting their tits up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
That's right.
And I was just like, damn, these fools.
Hell yeah.
That's it. These are and it's funny because the cops are there. They're fucking pressing everybody, right? The cops are there at the bike night and they're chilling in the back.
Yeah.
And and they're sitting there, they're pressing everybody. Rough Riders goes and they park in the back, all along the back.
Yeah.
The cops are chopping it up with them. They're doing burnouts in front of the cop car and filming it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the cops are on their job. You know what I'm saying? What time it is, everybody was on their tip. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So I was like, man, if I was to join the club, that's what I would join.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple years later, at the time, I lived in Long Beach.
Yeah.
So like a year and a half later, I moved out to the IE, out to East Highland by San Bernardino.
Okay.
And LA chapter Rough Riders there was a bunch of members from the Inland Empire area. They were part of LA chapter, but they were trying to establish their IE chapter.
Oh shit.
So I ran into them at a bike night out in the IE, and I was already cracking wheelies on my CBR 1000.
Oh shit.
Yeah, at the time. And I rolled up to a bike night, and you roll up and you just crack wheelies past a bike night. Then come back and park. So the members approached me and started chopping up with me, asked me to ride with them that night. So we rode out to the stunt spot where I saw Jay Beats and a couple other people there in the parking lot over there.
All right.
In the IE, busting.
Oh, yeah.
So went over there and just so from there the Rough Riders just started talking to me. I just started kicking it with them.
That's dope.
Yeah, prospected and prospected for 6 months. Did my thing. The day I got vested, boom! I was a board member. A month later, I'm president.
Oh shit!
So and I spent 9 years as president.
Oh damn!
Of the club until I hung it up when I started my brand.
Oh yeah. So what is Stuntfarm? Like, I know it's your clothing brand. I know you also have your team. Like, what do you label it as, or like what do you define it as, or what is it to you? You know?
Yeah, Stuntfarm is is a lifestyle brand. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah. It's all about promoting the lifestyle. It started off as our stunt team. We started off a stunt team. I was still a Rough Rider at the time.
Okay.
But it started off as a stunt team, and we would do shows and stuff like that. And the kids and parents and people would approach us to buy gear or to buy T-shirts so that we can autograph it or something like that.
Shit.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And we all had our own individual clothing sponsors.
Okay.
Each rider.
Okay.
But people approached us so much, we just started making shirts with their own captions on it. And
that's dope.
We were making more money off of our gear than we were getting paid for the show. We were getting paid good for the shows.
Yeah.
$5,000 a show or something like that sometimes. And we were making more money off selling the gear.
Yeah.
Then so I turned it the brand part just took over.
So did that like spark something in your head? You say like you're like, oh shit, I can make something of this, and
the whole idea always was just to promote growth. And this is what I saw when I started stunt riding and like dedicated stunt riding. Dedicating myself to being a stunt rider. Like I bought a separate bike. I got it. My first stunt bike was a Gixxer 600.
Okay.
All
fully stunted? You're saying like
fully stunted, yeah, with cage and sprocket and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that bike was my first stunt bike. So at that point, somewhere around, it was an 06 Gixxer. So it was somewhere around 06. Not just doing wheelies. This is the time. At this time in 06. In early 06, I'm just like, okay, now I discovered the parking lot, and this is where you go to practice. And I mean, so I can still take it to the street. Still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still about
Yeah, streets, but you gotta get in safely. You gotta find.
You gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The lot or whatever.
Yeah,
C-spot and shit back in the day. Yeah.
C-spot always existed.
That's what I know. Since I came in the game, it was always C-spot and
C-spot always existed. Yeah, C-spot existed before. Even before I was thinking about it. Yeah, C-Spot probably since like as far as history, I think C-Spot goes back to like 03, maybe even 02.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Even like the street racers always use that spot too.
I know it's a street racing spot too.
Yeah, it was a street racing spot before it was a stunt spot, but it just, if you're from the LA area, you know what I'm saying? Like that, you went through your times, maybe you were, racing TRXs or whatever.
Yeah.
That C-Spot was the spot to go.
There too,
a lot of the guys that stunt ride were,
going over there.
Going there for other reasons, you know what I'm saying? And so they started using it for bikes and stuff, you know what I mean? All right. So C-Spot was just always that underground spot.
Oh yeah.
For those type of activities. You know what I mean? In the cut a little bit. And to where the cops have more shit to do.
Yeah, that's why it's cool. It's cool to be able to be there and practice and get it in.
Even when the cops come, it's just like, get out of here. They don't want to go through 100 people's IDs and license stuff. They got murders and shit to solve.
You're not fucking with no one. You're not gonna wreck no one. You're not gonna fuck up no one's
and that,
day.
you know, even when there's been accidents there, you know.
Yeah, it's on.
For the most part, the only people that fuck with us hardcore is CHP.
Yeah, fuck
Real talk. Out of everybody, you know what I mean?
Dog, I hate it, dog.
Yeah, they hate us. Yeah,
fucking oh yeah, that's dope though. So like fucking, I know you travel and shit. You stunner, like you travel and shit. You do all that. Like, what's your like favorite ride, or what's the ride you look forward to? The travel.
Well, yeah, we travel for street rides. I always travel a lot for shows and stuff. And annually, you get contracts annually. When you start to become professional and stuff like that, you get contracts with certain deals. And believe it or not, you know, my favorite trip every year. In this last year, you know, COVID just shut it all down. But my favorite trip every year would be a Lancaster trip. We used to go to the Lancaster.
All right.
Up in Palmdale. I mean, I go all the way to Florida and all that
stuff. No, that's why. I thought you would say like somewhere crazy, you know, right? Like all over. Like I know you're all over the country. I'm like expecting like some crazy stories.
I went to UAE. I went to Dubai. I went to crazy places. Yeah, crazy. I've been to different countries and stuff doing this. You know?
Yeah.
But my favorite trip every year was Lancaster. We do a couple of events there. We used to do a couple of events there at the fairgrounds, and then they have this go-kart racing thing. So 2 times a year, we were booked to go there every year. But it's just a weekend to where I can bring in my riders from because I sponsor riders in other states and stuff like that. So I'd be able to fly them in, and there's the hotels taken care of and all that stuff. Like I think we were just treated more like stars there than anywhere else.
For
you know what I mean?
For
like,
sure.
There's a lot of places, but they already knew we were coming. They already, you know, like.
That's like the whole shebang. Like that's like
man, that was just superstar
lifestyle. Rockstar lifestyle.
The women are all there. The clubs are all there. Like everybody there knew we were coming.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's dope.
Yeah,
and so that's your guys' show pretty much as a stunt farm show. Like,
yeah, it would just wild out. We just be able to wild out. You know what I mean, and not just as much as we can. I mean, we'd go places and wild out, but we'd be able to wild out. You know, everything was taken care of for us there. You know,
that's dope.
I've been on trips, you know, different places, but there it was just solely us, and I think it's kind of in the boonies. You know what I mean? Lancaster's out there, you know.
Yeah,
but
so you guys get fucking wild, huh? Like, I know these stunners, y'all motherfuckers get fucking crazy.
But every rider had their own hotel room because the hotel. So they would give every rider a hotel room. So we have like 10 we bring in like 10 riders, you know.
Oh yeah.
So each rider had their own hotel room. You know what I mean? And, you know, everybody's got paid, and, you know what I mean? Everybody has checks. I think the money we would make there, we would, like, for sure it's going to get spent and then some. Like, we never left there in the black, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
And the party was going all week, and it was a weekend thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. We'd get there Friday.
Fuck.
And the hotel's already set, you know what I mean? Like, and we could do no wrong there because they were like promoting the events because the events would happen at the fairgrounds. And then they moved it to a park. They moved it a couple of places, but the events were happening. So on Friday we were promoting the Saturday and Sunday events. So they're like, okay, we need you guys to come down to this little boulevard cruise. So they blocked down Lancaster and a little boulevard cruise to promote the event. So like the cars are gonna be, they had cars drifters there. They had like, you know, show cars there, show bikes there and all stuff. And we would come in and just wild out, you know, we'd be stunning in the street, you know, and then legally, you know. And we're and on the way from, and you know, cops were just waving at you. They knew who we were when we were showing up. Yeah. Already. Yeah, we knew. And it's just like, oh yeah, Wild Wild West. We had no problems, you know.
That sounds like fucking.
And the thing is, it was a guaranteed every single year because we had a contract with them. You know, that's twice a year.
And you're getting paid for it. That's the best part. And you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, and you show up, and then you show up with the gear, and the gear is going crazy. And like, I think all the clips or pictures I have and videos, if you see me tossing stuff into the fence over the crowd and all that stuff, that's most likely Lancaster. That was like I said, it was like our.
That's your spot right there.
That was our thing, man.
That's like your throne, you know, your fucking legacy.
It just felt so good because people who were part of the team and part of the crew, you know what I mean? Even if you weren't stunning, you're going to be, every rider has a hotel room, so that, you know, we could stash an extra 2 or 3 guys there. Yeah. So we would go there with 50, 60 people. I mean, only 10 riders are riding. We're like 60 people.
The whole squad and everyone's partying.
We had at the wherever our stunt shows were at, we'd have RVs and stuff there, or like big old toy haulers and stuff, so we can go in there because it was hot out there, you know. So we go in there and cool down and stuff, change your gear and stuff, walk around. I mean, pull ass or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's dope, dog. That's that fucking.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it felt the most like you made it.
Fucking So for people that don't stunt, tell them how much dedication that shit takes, dog. Cause fuck. I honestly, I haven't quit a lot of things. I haven't been defeated by a lot of things, but I could honestly say stunt riding, like, and honestly, I just recently I was thinking like, fuck, I need to get back kind of into it. I need to, cause I've started to find balance point, but I can't say I found balance point. Yeah. I can't fucking ride a wheelie, and that's something I've kind of always wanted to do, and I feel fucking like I've been feeling down because I'm like, fuck, like. Why? Let me take a little swig of that.
Go for it.
But I'm like, fuck. Like, I want to. I kind of feel like I should accomplish that, you know, because I feel like that's a goal I kind of set for myself, and that's probably one goal that I haven't been able to do. You know, like I've done so much recently, or even this past years, but like, so I'm like, like fucking tell them how much dedication this shit.
Yeah, see the thing is, and that's where Stuntfarm comes into play. The whole idea about Stuntfarm. Was to, when I came in, no one's telling you how to do anything. You'd go up to somebody and ask them, and like, oh, how do I do a wheelie? And they said, twist the throttle as hard as
dump the clutch,
twist the throttle as hard as you can, and hope for the best. That's what they tell you. How do you do a stoppie? Grab a handful of brake and hope for the best. That's what they tell you. You know what I mean? They're not. Nobody's giving you the secrets because they know that once you catch on a talent, you know somebody. There's two types of riders. There's some naturally talented ass riders out there, and that's what we were in the streets. Naturally talented riders who can ride a wheelie for miles with no brakes, just all throttle control on a stock bike. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, there's some talented fools in the streets, urban riders with swag. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're not only going to take the skills, we're going to take all your bitches too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything's going to happen. You know what I mean? So they're holding on to their secrets as tightly as possible. So when I came into the scene, I was about, my whole thing was figure it out. Once I started figuring things out, I was sharing it with as many people as I could. My thing was like, you can't, there's pyramids to life, you know what I'm saying? So I already knew, like, I looked at the scene, seen what was happening. You know, Britain already existed. He's already making videos, and you know what I mean. People like that were already around for years before I was even. Cracking. I had been riding since I was young, but cracking wheelies, like really thinking about I want to do wheelies. Solely, you know, I didn't do that until like 2004. So, people already existed since late 90s. You know, Britain was already a big deal by 2000. He was already doing stuff. I think he did circle wheelies. Circle wheelies already existed in 2000, 2001. So my thing was to figure out the secrets, because I already knew it took a lot of dedication to try to be. You want to be on top of a pyramid if you're going to make something, you know. So I was like, I looked around and I seen the clothing brands. There was a few clothing brands around, but that's a mountain I could climb. That's a mountain I could be number one. The brand element, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have style. They were just bumper stickers, types. You know, they were like souvenirs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Souvenir companies making souvenir T-shirts and stuff like that. I was putting messages with style and matching the sneaker drops and stuff like that. You know, shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
thinking outside the box.
Outside the box. People wear my gear don't even ride motorcycles. I've influenced so many people just to buy a motorcycle because they got hyped on the gear.
Yeah, I see you be chilling with Pauly D and shit, huh?
Yeah, that's my boy. Shout out to Pauly.
That's
yeah. Yeah,
you built his bike. Did you know him before that? Like,
nah.
He hit you up to build his bike?
Yeah. Basically, it was an Instagram type thing. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Oh yeah, that's dope, dog.
It's the Instagram. Once I started popping and my bike started getting out there and all that stuff, he had posted a picture of him doing a stoppie, and I just I shot him a comment. You should get a cage on that shit. He's like, oh yeah, I want to build one. Blah blah blah. And he sent me a DM, so we started DMing. Oh, building? I build him. Check him out. Check my page out. So. And then
that's dope.
Next thing you know, I'm picking up a bike from his house, and you know what I mean, as the friendship started, and we still kick it.
That's sick.
All the time.
Yeah, that comes back to like, I want to go back to like what you said about you learning the stunt game, and then you like giving that knowledge out.
Yeah, my whole thing was Stuntfarm. the name came from that. Actually, the name originated from Rough Riders because we weren't allowed to be the Rough Rider stunt team. I mean, because we would use it was copyright infringement. You know, even though we're part of the club, there can't be a Rough Rider stunt team. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, what we're gonna do? My idea, I was the president of the club at the time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna recruit riders that like to stunt, right? But they don't want to join a club. You know what I mean? They don't want to be part of that club life. It's like
deal with that politics.
So what we'll do is we're gonna make you part of Stuntfarm. We're gonna farm stunt riders out. Stick the drag. We're gonna farm stunt riders out. Mm-hmm. So the idea was to get riders that want to stunt, because on rides it makes the club look good. Everybody's cracking Willie, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
My chapter.
Oh yeah.
My chapter was known for that amongst Rough Riders. We show up 15, 20 of us busting hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we want to make that more and more. So we got riders that were trying to be stunt riders. So we're like, all right, we're gonna make our own stunt riders. We're gonna fast track them. We're gonna give them the knowledge. We're gonna give them product. We're gonna give them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd go out and I'd get sponsors for our team. Stuntfarm was the team name.
Yeah.
But at the time, you had to be part of Rough Riders to be part of Stuntfarm. At the time.
Oh shit.
Very beginning of it, you know. This is before.
Yeah.
Before I just.
You separated.
I separated. You know, I retired. You know, hung up my cut. But, at the time, you had to be part of Stuntfarm. I mean, be part of Rough Riders, be part of Stuntfarm IE chapter. You know. So we took that. And I went out and I have the gift. I'm a salesman. You know what I'm saying? So I went out there and got myself sponsors, helmet sponsors, and you know, part sponsors and everything. You know, I'm selling the shit out of Stuntfarm as a team. So people wanted to be part of Stuntfarm, and they would put on the cut also. The Rough Rider cut, so it'd make my chapter look good, make my club look good. And Stuntfarm just started blowing up itself, you know. So the whole idea was share knowledge and grow the chapter. Once the Rough Rider and Stuntfarm thing became a separate thing, my idea was like, it goes back to the pyramid thing. That's cool. My clothing started coming out, and obviously we were killing the game. Nobody's like, everybody was black and white t-shirts. So I put color in the game. Like, again, from the Bay Area, we were flashy, and bright, and all that stuff, you know. So I put colors in the game, you know, colors on t-shirts and stuff like that. I'm good right now. Colors on t-shirts and everything, and that stuff started taking off. You know, people were buying my clothes just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because it was fashionable.
Had
the flashy, you know what I mean? Had a street message on it always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were always representing the streets, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So the lingo can go for all. It can be, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah. It crosses over to a lot of things, you know what I mean? Because in the streets, everything's connected, you know what I'm saying? You ain't selling drugs, you know what I mean? You're connected to the bangers somehow, you know what I'm saying? If not related,
like
you live in the neighborhood.
Veteran of the streets or something like that. Your veterans of the streets fucking slogan, and boom, that could go streets like fucking stunning, streets in the fucking, so. Yeah,
everything was about the streets. I stayed dedicated to it, to the point where I feel my major mark on stunt riding or on motorcycle riding or the motorcycle lifestyle is my major contribution is blowing up the streets. I mean, people were there before me that I looked up to, you know what I mean? Bulo, West Coast Connection, Street Fighters, all those guys that, you know what I mean? Like, the street scene kind of existed, but it wasn't, like, again,
streets, pushing it, streets.
Yeah, now you know what I mean? Even the parking lot guys, they all ride. At least they all go to a street ride. You know what I mean? At least one publicized street ride. They all go. I don't know one rider.
It's TSR, baby.
Yeah,
everyone goes to fucking TSR. If you ride, you go to TSR for sure.
Yeah, so. TSR. Well, but now a lot of guys are getting busted down there.
Yeah, now, like fucking 4 years ago, people were, now. I heard.
Yeah, but back in the day, the cops were like taking pictures with you and stuff.
Yeah, that's what when you were saying about the Lancaster thing. That's what I wanted to bring up. It sounded like TSR.
Exactly.
I remember, like 5 years ago, when TSR was cracking.
You can't get in trouble.
The cops were shutting down the streets for us.
Yeah, you couldn't get in trouble.
High fives with us. They were fucking. They didn't give a fuck. Doing fucking circle wheelies. The people were doing wheelies in the middle of the thing, burnouts wherever. Yeah. And so that's dope though.
Yeah.
And then yeah, what you were saying about like you kicking knowledge, that's one thing. That's one thing that I always respected about you, and like that's why I was happy to have you here, and that's why I hit you up to come here, dog. Because I remember like since I first met you, a lot of because you're a mechanic, you build bikes, all that shit.
Yeah.
A lot of fools they won't. You'll hook someone up real quick. You'll kick them the knowledge. There's even been times where you're like, don't even trip. You don't have to pay, dog. Just sit right here, learn the shit.
Yeah.
Learn what I'm teaching you. Let me boom, boom, boom. Let me get you down. And there's some mechanics that they'll fucking, like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, drop off your bike and leave it here for a couple days. And it's a quick fix. And they could have easily told you, oh, just do this real quick. And that's what I learned about. That's what I seen about you, dog, when I first met you. Like, oh, that's just dope. Like, you'll kick the knowledge. You'll help someone out. You'll fucking, oh, no, you're good. Just take it, dog. Take it for free or whatever. Like, help me out. Let me help you out. Like, hey, let me know what you need.
It's been about growth. And like, it's harder to gain somebody's respect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you're sitting here, you see this mountain to climb. Oh, I got to go through all these people. And in order to get to know that person over there, you got to get to know this person, that person, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, to go straight to that person, I'm like, okay, and instead of trying to become somebody that all these people would admire or not, why don't I just build that underneath
That's
me?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's dope. Cause
I'm not looking for somebody with status. What I'm looking to do is give somebody status.
That's right.
You know
Because a lot of people could come here and say what you were saying, like, oh, yeah, I like to give the knowledge. Everyone can say that. Yeah. But, like, the fact that I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I know what he's saying is true because, like, that's why I fucking brought you here, Like, that shit's dope.
I just always believed that I always had the hustle, so the hustle in me and all that stuff, Yeah. So I just always believed, like, I know this lifestyle is stupid expensive. You know what I mean? Even if you're a regular rider, like it's dumb expensive to maintain your bike and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So my thing is just like I take care of as many people as I can. I'll take care of as many people as I can, and when I need to get taken care of, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna look out for me. You know what I mean? If they know, you know what I mean? Like I'm not that. In regards to that stuff, I just karma type.
When it's time, when it's time, it's time.
Yeah, when it's time, it's time. You know what I mean?
Right. Hell yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? We're not gonna leave here with shit, but ourselves. I want to express my true self. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
that's dope though. I like that. Like I said, I always acknowledge that about you. Like, cause I mean, fuck, I've been in the bike scene for a while too. So I've dealt with a lot of people. And not a lot of guys are not a lot. That's what I'm saying. Not a lot of dudes do the shit that you're willing to do. I haven't met a lot of dudes that are willing to be like, oh yeah, fucking yeah, come through. We'll check it out and don't trip. I'll send you on your way. Motherfuckers will be like, oh yeah, come through, drop it off, and I'll let you know when it's ready, and I'll fucking tax you fucking $200 to change the brakes or some shit. Like
my thing for me was like I just never thought of it as I have to make my living at this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just doing what was natural to me. I mean, I always feel like the money will come. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the money will come. You know what I mean? The money will come, but making a difference to somebody, that's a more rare. It's a more rare opportunity to help someone out than you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody needs help, but I'm saying like to be able to help somebody out in a situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of doing that right now. Like, fucking, I got some little thing going on. I'm helping out my cousin, and it's like takes a little, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like you have to kind of do that and shit. So
yeah, but if it's something you do every day and it's easy to you, you know what I mean, and people are thinking about making the money, I don't know, for some reason I just never thought about making the money. I've never posted a picture of money on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Right. And if I was to get $5,000 today or $100,000 today, you wouldn't. It wouldn't be any different. Same I wouldn't have a big old bottle of Henny here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have all this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just I know it's gonna, to tell you the truth. I'm about to spend all that shit tomorrow. Like, I can spend $100,000 in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So I never looked at it to try to.
You're just living your life, you could say, huh?
Yeah,
like you're just like, what would you say? Because that's dope that you could do that, like, because not a lot of people, like me and this dude talk about that, a lot of people like could live like that life that they want to live, like what sacrifices have you had to make, or like what, like I know a little while ago we were talking about how like COVID kind of fucked up like what's like some of the ups and downs. Have you ever felt like fuck this shit, or like,
all right, I'm 47 years old now, even though I don't look it. So no, I'm 47 now. and I still live my life like I'm 21. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's right.
You know, I don't know if that'll ever stop. It's just that I've hit the reset button. I've been homeless 3 times in my life.
Shit.
I hit the reset button. I've been dead ass broke. Like when I mean saying dead broke, like all I had was my car that I had bought. But now I had bought for cash. You know what I'm saying? Or like had a small car and like I'm literally like sleeping in the car or whatever. You know what I mean?
How old was it, or like when was this?
I believe it or not, I was in the Marine Corps. Like I got homeless and I ended up homeless in the Marine Corps.
Oh no shit.
I was homeless for a while, and I was going through divorce and all kinds of stuff, but there was a lot more rules to it at the time because I'm in the military. You know what I mean? But
oh yeah, they didn't allow divorces and shit like that. Huh?
Well,
like,
they'd frown upon it. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot of your time. They have to excuse you.
Okay.
A lot for it, and if you're a good Marine, you're an important person. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden they start to have excusing you, and they rely on you for certain stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it starts to it just looks bad.
Yeah.
It just like looks bad.
Yeah.
That's all it is for you to have those type of problems. And so yeah, when the divorce thing started happening, it really started messing my military career up. But that was the first time I had ever went to the point where like I had no money. I was in the military and there's a guaranteed check coming, but it wasn't even coming to me. Like most of that shit was going to the ex-wife, and because we had bills and all that stuff together, I had to go to the bills first and all that stuff, So there's times where I would be getting paid and I literally had maybe $40 or $50 from the paycheck to live off of for 2 more weeks to get paid again or whatever. So, and you can't tell the military people that. It's everything in there is real ego driven. Like you're proud. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody even knew I was homeless. Like they had no idea. They had no idea the whole time. So they had no idea I was eating off. The good thing is that I was in the military, so I can go into they have the chow hall there, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so you can just go into the chow hall and eat.
All right.
During breakfast, lunch, and dinner is guaranteed. It's like being in prison, bro.
Yeah.
Like 3 meals.
3 hots in the car.
Guaranteed.
Not even a car, huh?
You might not even go to lunch that day, but you know what I'm saying? You know it's there.
Yeah,
so,
it's there, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was probably like in that status for like 5 months or something like that, sleeping out of the car. Or like, if, just kicking it at a friend's house. But once I overcame that, I felt like I can overcome something. So I got out of the military, and I would take risk after risk after risk, and a lot of times it would pay off because I believed in what I was doing. Like I can do that. So So it just at times in my life I've risked everything with no regard to anything, to anyone other than because I felt that confident in the things that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of shapes me for who I am. So that's why I'm not a lot of mechanics go back to bring it back to where it makes sense. A lot of mechanics it's just a skill that they acquired somehow. And if they give it away to you, they're not thinking about anything else but in the money. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're scared to fall or whatever, or you know what I mean? Yeah. They're scared not to get that $40 or whatever. Yeah. But I can literally not have no money. So the past 18 years I've been self-employed, Yeah. And I'll give $10 away because I have to a bum or something like that. That's my last $10 with no stress because I just know I have the ability to make it up somehow. Like I can, if I need $50 tonight, I can leave here and go make $50 somehow. I know I can. There's so many ways to do it. I just have that. I guess knowledge or confidence or awareness.
That's cool.
It's more like awareness. I don't want to say knowledge or you know what I mean? It's just more awareness. It's there for everybody.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's there for
that's
everybody.
Dope because a lot of people have that thought process. You have
10 ways you can make money. You know what I'm saying? Have 10 ways you can make money. For I guarantee if you were to open your mind up, there's 10 ways to make money, and some of them are the more 9 to 5 type things. You go get this job and this that, but there's a lot of ways to make money. To tell you the truth, and I'm from the Bay Area, but I didn't just really discover that until I came to to LA. To LA specifically.
Some people don't realize it. That's the thing. Yeah. Some people, it takes that rock bottom sometimes.
There's so much money around here. It
takes being low and getting it, and being low and getting it, and being low and getting it to kind of realize like okay, like it will come, you know, like.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I look around when I'm over here in LA County, I look around, and if you pour your heart into something that you love, I mean, you find something that you love or a skill, something you love doing, if you pour your all into it,
nothing can go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong. You may think like bullshit, but nothing can go wrong. You know what I mean? Like if you pour your heart into it, nothing can go wrong.
I love to hear
that. And there's multiple things you can do that with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I love being a mechanic, but it's not my number one passion. I love fashion. I love design, but what I really love to do is put colors together in some type of element. So
that's where they both kind of come in together, huh?
That's where the bike building comes.
Because your bikes are dope. Your bikes are sick as fuck. All the bikes you build are fucking dope, dog. Especially you still have the Peacock?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I actually broke it down. It's a funny reason I broke it down, but I just broke it down because I had ridden it too much, you know what I mean? Because when you ride street rides, the cops start be able to identify you by the bike, and there's certain people like that are media strong or like Instagram strong. We have a presence or whatnot, and I was looked at as one of those type of people that have that type of presence. So when I would go to rides, sometimes I've been to rides, and I'm not even wheeling, and there's 40 people are wheeling around me, and the cops are trying to get at me. Yeah. Like they're literally cutting through people who wheelie, and I'm on two wheels and trying to get at me. Luckily they didn't, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But I'm like, why are these guys so focused on me? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like me particularly, I know my bikes stand out, they're loud and everything. But nowadays, everybody's bikes they got bright colors on them and all that stuff. Everybody's trying to emulate that, but there's a lot of people that go all the way to the detail because it's laziness because they don't have the heart for it. You know what I'm saying? And I pour my heart into it, like really. It's building the bike, but the layout, the way the colors go, the way the colors might frame. The motorcycle might be like 6 different colors, but you know it looks like one picture. And there's a lot of people who put bikes together with 2 colors and it looks blurry. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to put 6 colors together and make it work difficult. I mean, the bike I was most proud of at the beginning. The bike when I discovered like, okay, I'm gonna be known as a bike builder. You know what I mean? Was I call it the Jolly Rancher. It was my red, white, and blue bike. Was like mainly it was candy red, and candy blue, with white in it to frame it off. All right. You know, and it had some gray, some like silver gray in it too. But like red and blue, those colors don't go together. But I put them together. You know what I mean? You
made it work, huh?
So but you make it work by where you put the colors at, where you line. You know what I mean? So I relate it to fashions like this. You ever seen somebody have on some white and red shoes with a red shirt and white, right? So they're matching with the shoes. Okay, but their hat they put on is red also with white. You look like you know what I mean? You look like Crayola crayon. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Now if your shoes were red with white, and then you can keep the red and white going, and you can be I call them Power Rangers, sorry. I call them Power Rangers, you know, you can keep, you know, that one color rocket like it's everything, you know what I mean? But when you look at it, it would look way more better if you had a white hat on or like a gray hat on. You know what I mean? So, you know, the red shirt doesn't power it, you know what I mean? So I see crazy things like that, and most people are like, damn, that's clean. You know, you see a candy painted bike, that's clean. I'm like, yeah, but why does it look so blurry? Those sometimes the things just look blurry to me. So I'm able to
vision. You have that vision then, huh? You have a vision.
I can see it in my head before I even lay it. I don't do no pictures, no renderings, no nothing like that when I build bikes. I just see it in my head, and the whole time I'm just trying to build that bike that I see in my head.
So you're legit living your dream, like you're living like what you're like.
Passion, like, when I'm doing that, you know what I mean. Like I've been paid for doing it, obviously, you know, building bikes for celebrities and stuff like that. But I see it in my head and I understand that stuff, and when I see the blurriness and I've described a bike as I'm seeing it in my head, or like I'll sit down with every person I'm building a bike for and pick their brain. And some of them come with like, oh, I want a candy, this and that. And I'm just like, okay. what other colors you want to use? They're like, no, I just wanted candy blue. And I said, no, I don't work like that. I'm going to give you some other shit, but don't worry about it. Just
trust me and shit.
Candy blue, that's what you want. It's going to look candy blue. Right? You know what I mean? Everybody's going to say it's a candy blue bike. You know what I mean? But it's not, what you're thinking is not what I'm thinking. And I will describe the whole picture. Yeah. And there's like, I don't see it. And now they're looking at me like the way I look at people when I see their bikes. They hooked it up, they candied it out, or they did something, but it just looks sloppy to me. These people are looking at me like that's gonna look sloppy, you know, because I'm describing all this other stuff I see.
So that was that Jolly Rancher one, the favorite one you ever built, or
no?
What would be your favorite? What would be your favorite build? Or, I mean, can you think of one? Or
I mean, the Peacock. It honestly didn't start out the Peacock, and it's just a crazy long story, but. The Peacock was supposed to be a whole different bike, and it was supposed to be for a customer.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had to sell him on the idea of the
Peacock print, or
no. The Peacock print that comes later.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that bike evolved. The initial name for that bike was the City Bike.
Okay.
It was supposed to look like a city, like a traveling city. Okay. So that's where the rainbow metal flake that's on the frame and swing arm and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then the purple was like the dark background. You know what I mean? So purple was going to be the dark background.
Okay.
The tank and everything that's Peacock colors, you know, now that was supposed to be black. You know what I mean? With a little bit of flashes of purple in it. So when you ride your bike, it look like the city shining going past. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking for the city from a far thing. Yeah. So it's supposed to be called the City Build. But that guy, I had to sell him on it. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, I don't want it to be... Without the Peacock wrap, if I had a darker wrap on it, the bike would look darker. It would sit back more because it's kind of actually hard to see the metal flake unless you're, you know, during the day or something like that. Even in videos, it's kind of hard to see it. Okay. But in person, the bike is stupid insane. Yeah. So, I mean, if I had to say the favorite bike, it would be that. You know, once that guy kind of bailed out after we got the powder coat back and stuff like that, he just didn't like it. He wasn't a flashy person, I guess, or something. Like I said, the vision, they can't see it there. I'm like, it looks bright right now, but trust me, when I put it all together, it's going to be dark, you know? Yeah. And he didn't bite on it. So the bike sat. That bike I powder coated, and like 6 years later, I started the Peacock build. So I had it in my possession for 6 years. It's like not doing anything, you know? And when I decided to do the Peacock, I was like, okay, this time I'm going to spin it. I'm like, the Peacock, that's my spirit animal. So... I consider myself a peacock, so that is where I'm gonna say I'm a peacock, and this. So I made that frame, that frame and all that stuff was already built. But I'm like, if I put the peacock feathers wrap on it and stuff like that, the colors will make sense. Then I'll start throwing and then that's when I added the candy green and some of the other little elements like the kickstands, candy blues and greens. Because before it was just that rainbow metal flake on top of some black gloss and with the purple rim, so it's going to be a lot darker bike. So I just started adding, the bright green to it, the candy green and all that stuff to help with the rainbow metal flake. And then the peacock feathers actually have all those colors in it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. So I just turned it. It just made sense at the time. That's sick. I was trying to build me a super dope. I'm all about full fairings, so I was trying to build the dopest Street Fighter bike because I didn't like Street Fighters. I was actually trying to convince myself, you know what I mean, the Street Fighter bike because I'm not into the Street Fighter look.
Yeah, all naked and shit.
I just
the full fairings look sick. I prefer the full fairings.
On top of that, like when you're doing something like I've done shows or something like that, and even though like ours are wrapped and everything, you can tell exactly what bike it is. So if you're in the crowd and you have the same exact bike as me, you know what I mean? I instantly have your attention and your respect, and you come out, man, I have the same exact bike. How do you know what I mean? It makes it a bigger deal. So being able to identify the bike, and besides Street Fighter, it just looks like it's set. You can have the same setup on a full fairing bike, but the Street Fighter bike looks like it's stunt bike. It looks set up. And if you're riding the streets, you're not, you know what I mean?
I feel you. You don't want to stand out and shit.
Well, when it comes down to the cops and stuff, I mean,
you don't want to stand out with the cops. You don't want to stand
out with the cops. You know what I mean? So. I want to stand out color-wise, but I want you to still be able to identify it as a bike. I've gotten actually like a little tamer with my personal builds and stuff like that. Oh shit! They're still pretty wild. So they look a little, but it looks you can't
kind of low key like a regular.
It looks
bike.
Like a street bike. Yeah. I don't even rock cages anymore on any of my stunt bikes. Oh shit! I don't do it. I rock a sub cage, then say handbrake, no cage, not even race rails, maybe some pucks, maybe some.
Fuck it, huh?
Just. You know what I mean?
But like you said, I'm pretty sure, like you said, like pretty sure you have that fucking that those eyes on you kind of, or like, you know, like,
yeah.
Because I mean, you've been in this game for a long ass time. You're obviously you're well known, you know, like, so. I mean, it sucks to say, but you probably do have to kind of like be on your toes like that.
Yeah, well,
like that.
Okay, back to the early days. You know what I mean? When we'd come out and we'd be on our, you know, candy bikes. And this is before the scene was in candy bikes, and then we're doing our wheelies. Like, what if you fall? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna have to redo it then. You know what I mean? Well, that shit's so expensive, and this is that. That's the regular person's thought, you know, process on that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it goes back to like, nah, I'll find the money. You know what I mean?
So when the cages pop off, for like, how did those pop off? For like,
for past few, the Peacock bike I always had a cage because it's supposed to be like a lot bike. You know what I mean? But all my other bikes, like I had the 14. I don't remember the white and blue 14.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I stopped rocking cages way back then. And there was a few times during builds where I had a bike and I would be riding it, but we hadn't gotten the cages in or something like that. And I would rock mine without the cage. So it kind of started like sometime around 2011. It was like the first time I didn't rock a cage at a ride. But I had so many bikes at that time frame that, you know, I was rocking cages on some of my bikes. But my bikes now, every single bike I've had since my 14 outside of the Peacock bike, it hasn't had a cage on it.
Well, when you were stunning, what's like the hardest trick you like learned and shit, or like the most difficult one?
Well, it took me almost a full year of going to the stunt spot every single night for 4 hours a night. We would all, you know, some people work, some people didn't. Me and my boys would get together. We go to, in Rancho, we had this stunt spot off of Rochester. We called it Lotchester. It's a big long parking lot, huge. It's where the baseball team plays right there in Rancho. Rancho, they have a little semi-pro baseball team, so it's like their parking lot, their overflow parking lot for the baseball stadium that's there. It's a small one, like AAA baseball.
Yeah.
So we'd go to that parking lot. It's big, it's long, so we call it Lotchester. And so it took me about every night we would go, even like Friday, Saturday nights, people are out partying. We'd go to the stunt spot. It's like working out. This is back to, you know, what it takes to be a stunt rider. Yeah. It's like working out. You want to be on stage flexing your muscles. You're not going to go unless you have your shit together.
You have to go every night.
So we have to go every night. It's about muscle memory. Because when you're out in the street, you can't be thinking about what do I need to do to complete this wheelie. It's like walking. Yeah. It's like walking.
You have to go every night.
You have to go every night. You have to have the sensations. You have to have the feelings. You have to build that into your system. Yeah. You have to build the sensitivity, how much brake it takes, how much force it takes to stop the brake if I'm going 30, 40, 50. If I hit a pothole, how do I correct myself? And this and that. And all that stuff has to be like walking. Like if you trip over something, you're not thinking about how do I stop myself from falling right now and this is now. I got to stick my hand out. And you just do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but how did you didn't always stick your hand out. At some point you tripped when you were 2 years old walking, you tripped and hit your face. You know what I mean? And you're like, shit, if I would have just stuck my hand out, next time I trip, I'm going to stick my hand out. You know what I mean? And the next time you trip, guess what? You might stick your hand out halfway because you really didn't take, there's seconds you have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So imagine being on the street, you're doing a wheelie, and you've never wheelied before and you hit a pothole or a car comes out. Like, you know what I mean?
You have to be ready, yeah.
Next thing you know, you're 2 years old and you're falling off your motorcycle. You know what I mean? And in the streets, it's not good to fall.
Yeah.
So, back to the hardest thing I learned was to get to balance point.
Balance point, huh?
After you understand the balance point and what comes after balance point, because there's a few things a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to balance point. When you actually hit balance point, it's gonna slow the bike down. Say you hit balance point, it's gonna slow the bike down stupid. And the pack's gonna leave you. You're the whole time pack's chasing you, you're learning how to wheelie. Yeah. So you do pow wheelies, right? So your wheelies are below balance point, so they call it chasing the wheelie, right? So when you're chasing the wheelie, all the people that are riding with you are chasing you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you figure out balance point, it's gonna slow you down so much. Those people chasing you are gonna pass you up. And that's like when I see like lot riders come out, people who've never been in the streets with their wheelies, and they're wheeling on a ride or something, you'll see them get eaten up by the pack, or they'll just set it down because they don't know how to
keep it going. And
shit. Keep it going.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah. I never learned that. I threw it up. Like I would throw them up. I would chase the wheelies.
Ride it out.
I could chase them for a block or 2 blocks, but then and I got to the point fucking where I was learning my fucking balance point, and then one night I got fucked up. I was out drinking, out fucking getting fucked up with the homie Magic, fucking, yeah, we the boys, you already know all the boys. It was one of those nights, fucking it was the pre-TSR ride, fucking the bike night that they have over there at fucking No More Helmets and shit. And we left there. I was all fucked up, and we were throwing it up, and boom, ate shit, fucked up, but like you said, it all comes down to having that second nature, and being kind of buzzed, and like, I didn't have it down enough to fucking, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing to be trying to do all that. And then you get that liquid courage in you, and dog, I fucked up. And then, I don't know, ever since then, I just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if it had like that fear in my head or what. Because I went down before that, like, too, throwing wheelies up. So I don't know if I have that fear in my head, but I just kind of like, I would start throwing one, like, nah, and but like I said, dog, like, I want to get back on it.
You have to go back to the thing. You have to go to the Stunt Spot every day. It took me an easy year and a couple months, a year of going every single day and night.
Every night.
This is back in 2005. I'm going to the Stunt Spot every single night, and it's like working out. We go there. We might go there for 2 or 3 hours, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, my Somebody taught me this a long time ago. One of my boys, Hitman, from Rough Riders, he's like, there's no excuse not to go to the Stunt Spot. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym, right? There's always something you can work on. So, like, you go to the Stunt Spot, there's always something to work on. Oh, my back brake's not working right now. Okay, well, then work on your stoppies. Oh, my handbrake's not working right now. Okay, work on your acrobatics. You know what I mean? There's acrobatics and stuff to do. You can do on, you know what I mean? So just work on another element of the game. It's not like, I pulled a pec muscle, so I can't do no bench. So that means don't go to the gym no more. You know what I mean? You can still work on your cardio, work on your legs, work on your calves. You can do some work on your forearms. I mean, your neck thing. Like, there's a lot of things you do without your chest. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, go around and shit.
So it's the same exact mentality. Same exact mentality.
Yeah, because when I was learning Bally's Point, I was going almost every day for 3-4 months, dog. 3-4 months straight. Fucking hitting.
It's because when you hit this point, the things that are happening between balance point, you clutch up a wheelie, and then when you go to hit balance point, the swing arm, depending on what kind of bike you have, and this, you know what I mean? But I learned this from the Gixxer. The swing arm has a pivot point, and then all of a sudden it snaps loose because the whole time your back shock is compressed, you know? So once you hit balance point, what happens is the shock releases. So that's what takes all the stress off the motor. You're doing like 10 grand, like that. All of a sudden, you're and that's where that's where balance point, and this is where idle comes into effect. It literally drops down to what you would be doing if you're just idle.
Cruising,
If you're cruising, and let's say you put it in first gear and you let it clutch out and you're cruising, that's idle. The idle of the motorcycle is carrying the motorcycle. You're not twisting the throttle at all. So the idle is carrying the motorcycle. So idle wheelie is when the idle's carrying the motorcycle. So what you discover at this point, this is like the biggest breakthrough in all of stunt riding, going from chasing your wheelie to balance point. Balance point is one part of the wheelie. So you got the clutch up, and then you're chasing it, and then you got balance point. But that's when you hit balance point, idle takes over. And the idle of your motorcycle is down like 2,000 or less. You know what I mean? On a stock bike, your idle is probably like 1,500. So you kind of have to
like compensate for that with the throttle, or you just...
That's where choppy riders come into place.
You just kind of give it that more throttle.
The real way to compensate for it, because you're stepping on the brake as you clutch it up. You're chasing it, but you're stepping on the brake to keep yourself from going all the way backwards. So to get up to balance point, you have to release more and more brake. You have to learn how to clutch it up, grab the brake, let go, grab the brake, let go, grab the brake, let go. But a lot of guys, so once they get the balance point, the idle goes down. So now the bike wants to slow down, and it's going to feel like it's going backwards. So you step on the brake more to bring more forward. But all the stepping on the brake does is de-idle it more. So getting to that point is going to feel like you're flipping the bike, and then you save it with the brake or whatever. But really, that point to balance point where it switches and the idle goes down. The true way to compensate for it is to raise your idle up. If you're going to wheelie, you raise your idle up. RPMs up 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. This depends on the setup, the person, and all that stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So you raise your idle up to where you clutch it up, and you hit the brake, let go, and you hit balance point. The idle can now take over the bike.
So you still have that pull.
You have more forward pull.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of being, you're going 40 miles an hour probably plus when you clutch up a wheelie, you're learning how to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But getting it up as fast as possible, letting the idle take over as fast as possible. So you adjust your idle. Once you clutch up and get into that bounce point wheelie, you can literally not touch the throttle ever again. That's how people do no-handers and all that stuff. They bump up their idle a lot. Like no-handers, a lot of people sit down no-handers. Yeah. They'll bump their idle up to 10,000 RPMs while they're, before they clutch up that wheelie. And they clutch up that wheelie, you're not touching. You don't have to. Once you hit it, let go.
It's pulling. Yeah, it's
pulling.
It's like you're still on the fucking.
It's like you're still on the throttle, but that's just the idle being adjusted to go up before the wheelie even started. So that was that's the hardest thing. Once you learn that balance point, and then you understand the things that you have to change to a stock bike, like you can put a sprocket on it, you can put a cage, you can put a handbrake, you can put all this stuff on it. Yeah. But if you don't understand that you have to change that idle, you know what I mean? You're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a very hard time.
So
understanding it, once you hit that balance point, that's the biggest breakthrough in all stunt riding.
Oh yeah.
That's the biggest breakthrough.
Oh yeah.
And going from like a lot of street riders or new riders, they drop their PSIs all the way down. Yeah. Their PSI is 15, 10, 20, whatever, because it keeps the bike more stable. But really, riding on a flat tire, can you turn left or right? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. If say it was your tire's flat, turning left or right is very difficult, on the motorcycle. Yeah. So you get there to that point where you're running with low PSIs, but you don't understand your PSIs have, once you learn that, you have to drop to bump them right back up again. Like professional riders running like 44 PSIs, 46, 50. Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but what it does to the tires, it makes the tire more of a V, so it's harder to control.
So it's easier to.
It's harder to control when they flatten it. It's easier to not go left or right when you're learning how to do wheelies. But if you want to be able to
have the control, do their circles and all that
and all that stuff, your air pressure has to be even higher. You know what I mean? Back up again. So you go through these phases.
Yeah. So it's easier to fucking make that circle.
To do the circle, you're turning like that. Yeah. Now you want it to go left and right, but when you're on a flat tire, it's harder to.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we hit the lock. You dropped your fucking PSI. And we wanted it low, so we didn't.
Didn't. Shit, you don't have to worry about going left and right. You're just focusing on back and forth. You know what I mean? So, making that breakthrough that was the most difficult thing. After that, if you're spending a good, like I said, I spent a whole year, 3 hours minimum.
What was your most fucked up wreck that you had? Man.
All right. Before I ever became a stunt rider, I never broke a bone in my body. I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. I played every sport in high school. I was a 3-sport letterman. You know what I mean? I wrestled, played baseball, and football. So I was, you know what I mean? I never broke a bone. I played pee-wee football since I was 7 or whatever. Yeah. I've never broke a bone in my whole body. Check this out. Learning how to stunt ride, learning that whole year and a half of dedicated time in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Learning how to stunt ride, learning and having to teach yourself on top of that, because the thing, remember, nobody's telling you shit when I came in the game. They're not sharing information. Yeah. So actually what I did was I listened to somebody who can ride in the parking lot. I listened to them crack a wheelie, and I heard that. Remember the yuck guy? Remember they were making fun of that guy?
You hit it. You hit it once.
What that kid was saying.
RPMs up.
Yeah.
And then,
what that kid was saying wasn't a lie. You know what I mean? He just didn't. He's just. People are making fun of him about it, but I understood what he meant. Like, I went to this parking lot, and
that's how I learned that. What you're saying, I don't know what you're talking about, the guy or whatever, but that's how I kind of learned too. You hear? That's how I learned. Like, I just get the RPMs up there, and then kind of like
there's kind of a famous.
I don't know the guy or anything like that.
Oh yeah, on YouTube, there's a famous guy called Yut, right? And he had a Craigslist ad, teach you how to wheelie ad, but there's these parking lot guys. they saw this ad and they're like, oh, the balls of this somebody's, and I guess the kid was in their area. This is in Central California, like Modesto or something like that, right?
Shit.
So he's advertising and I'll teach you how to wheelie. So these professional stunt riders, 3 of them, they book a session with him. They're going over there and they're acting real dumb, like, oh, how do you ride? And he's like, all you gotta do is listen to the motor and go. And when you let the clutch go and you just hit the gas, and when you hear the bike go yeah like that, when you hear that, that's when you got it. He told them, and these guys are like, what the fuck? You know, they call him out on it and all that stuff. But all over the like the forums and stuff for stunt riding. That video was going around. Everybody was like, So the guy, the kid didn't know how to wheelie. I mean, obviously the kid knew how to wheelie, but he didn't know how to teach somebody how to wheelie. So he's telling these guys, that's like that. You know what I mean? Like, and so then they bust him out. They start doing circle wheelies around him and all that stuff. They try to embarrass him, try to make him look bad. But I always understood what he meant by that, because when I learned how to stunt ride, I heard the sound like that. That a lot rider clutching from a dead stop straight up. I'm like, how do you make your bike sound exactly like that's the feeling and sound? It just related to. I've been riding motorcycles for a long time, so I have the sensations there already, you know. But it's all about seat time. What we were saying, like you get the feel, and then it ends up being like walking, like, you know what I mean? You get the feel, and it ends up being like walking. I always have so I can not ride for months and months and months now, and still do most of the things that I used to do, because I built the sensations in my hands and all that stuff. I can get on anybody's bike, a stock bike, or this bike, and just do a little warming up, and then figure out, and I'll be cracking wheelies on their bike, you know. That was the one thing that made a lot of people would come to me, you know, because I'm a well-known stunt rider or something, you know, to work on their bike. And for a while there, when I lived in San Bernardino, everybody would come to my house. I'd work on their bike a little bit, maybe install a sprocket kit or something, you know. And they'd be like, hey, can you wheelie my bike? Yeah, I could probably wheelie your bike. Like, oh, can I see one? Be videotaping me wheelie their bike or something. I would get on everybody's bike, you know? But yeah, it's not a smart thing to do it, you know, but because you don't, like, there's so many elements of the bike, you know? Some bikes I got on were suspect, you know what I mean? Got an 89 Gixxer or some shit, you know what I mean?
I can do it. Fuck it.
I can ride it.
Pass me my beer.
Everybody would come to your house with a 12-pack of beer. They all knew I drink Dos Equis. Every month, no shit. Every month for 3 years, when I lived in San Bernardino, every month I had a old 85 step side Chevy truck, and we would throw all the beer bottles back there, you know. And I swear to God, every single person would come by would bring a 12-pack of beer. You know what I mean? So there's always beer at my house. But every month I would take that truck. We'd throw all the bottles in the back of the truck, in the truck bed. And every month that would be my truck. I never drove it, so I just started it up. And I would drive it to the recycling center once a month. The thing would be piled up, and it's a step size, so it's kind of small bed. But you know, the bottles are piled up, all green bottles. They're piled up. And I would carefully drive it so they wouldn't slide out of the bed, you know? So it's a pile all the way to the top. 44 pounds of green glass. Every month.
Every time.
Every month. Every month. It's 4 weeks. 44 pounds of green bottles, man. I would recycle that shit every month. Those are some 3 years, man. You know what I mean? I would never sleep either, you know? So, be working on bikes 24/7. Like
I remember now. That's probably around. No, I met you
a
when
little
you
bit
were
after
in, like, Baldwin Park.
Yeah, I lived in Baldwin Park.
But still, you're still on the same. I don't know if you still get down like that. But, you were a party monster. I remember being there chilling.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? I value my family a lot, you know, and some of the times I miss now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Friends, you start to learn, like, you know, friendship is fragile, you know what I'm saying? But family's forever, you know what I mean?
I feel you on that one.
So I'm getting a little bit older now, and I lost some people in my life, so I just...
Anything you want to say on that? On, like fucking, you know, like, because I mean, I don't know if you know, I left my club too, you know. And I'm not gonna talk about the reasons why.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, like
that's personal. That's to you.
Yeah,
you know, what I mean?
But like friendship and like shit like that. Like you kind of see like being in the game and like You could be cool as fuck with someone, and then all of a sudden, shit kind of changes, and you just kind of like it comes into realization.
And for
like
crazy,
who's there, who's really not.
Yeah,
like how quick shit could change with a person you thought.
You want to find out who your real friends are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, have some problems.
Yeah, something like that. Have some problems.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be around for the party. Everybody wants to be around for the party, but nobody. You'll see who's around when you need help.
Yeah.
When you need help, or when you're going through it, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
When you're going through it, you know.
Oh yeah.
People are afraid to be around you because.
Yeah, they don't want to get sucked into whatever, and they want to.
The problems
comes into that ego, kind of comes in like the ego you were saying, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I think the problems they feel like your problems are gonna rub off on them or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or they're gonna have to. I've never been afraid to commit myself to some shit, and that's probably like one of my setbacks too. It's a great thing about. If I was to say something great about myself, I'm just like I'm not afraid to help somebody out or to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I've never thought about the commitment that I'm making. Like if I was to help somebody out or something like that. Yeah. But like then when people start to count on you for it, that's when it becomes a problem. You know what I mean?
Because all of a sudden it's like, why didn't you do this? You're the bad guy now.
Yeah. Oh, one time, a long time ago, there's 3 situations that like flashed to my head. You know, one time a while ago, when the brand head was popping, I lived out in San Bernardino. Friends come and go or whatever, right? So one time, I had posted a post like, I give it up to myself. Like I'm proud of myself for doing all this shit on my own. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For being in the position for building the brand. And all that shit on my own. It's not that people didn't help me. Yeah. I'm not trying to diss anybody who helped me along the way.
You had your vision and you made it happen.
The thing was, it was solely my responsibility. Solely. What I mean by solely my responsibility is 100% financed by me, 100% backed by me. The problem with not being afraid is when you have a family, and this is kind of what brought up this whole subject. When you have a family, and you're not scared to. Yeah, the light bill's due on Friday, but my friend needs help. I'm going to go ahead and give him this $1,000 or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know our light's going to get cut off. You know what I mean? But I know I have things lined up to make it. You know what I mean? In case my friend don't give it back to me or whatever, you know? Yeah. And your wife's looking at you crazy. So I put my wife through some crazy shit, you know? In regards to that. So I risked all my money. A lot of times I'd risk rent money. You know what I mean? I would always be paying rent right on time or just after or right at the deadline, you know what I mean? Before you get the thing on your door saying show up in court, eviction notice and stuff, you know? But I actually was evicted. During the time I owned Stuntfarm, the reason why I ended up in Baldwin Park is because we were evicted out of our house. Oh shit. Yeah, I always take my money and gamble it on what I'm doing. So I bring out T-shirts or whatever. The whole brand was financed by bill money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just hoping to sell enough to get it back. So one time. What brought this up is one time I had posted thanks, you know, to myself, you know what I mean? Posted thanks to myself. I did it. I'm just proud of where I'm at, where the brand's at and all this stuff. Right. I did it on my own, you know what I mean? With no one's help. And so one of my friends commented, we had a group chat, right? Stuntfarm group chat, friends and family, Stuntfarm Mafia. So we had like a Mafia group chat, and my friend goes, on the post, first thing he said was, with no help from any of your friends, huh? For no help from any of your friends, he told me. And then seconds later on the group chat, I had called him out. I said, "Dog, I'm not saying no help from none of my friends, but I did this on my own." You know what I mean? Yeah. He goes, and he goes, "The other day you charged me full price for a T-shirt," and I was like, "Bro, the reason why I charged you full price for a T-shirt was because I needed full price on a T-shirt." Yeah. You know what I mean? But how many free T-shirts have I given you? How many half-price T-shirts have I given you? I mean, how many $15, $10 T-shirts have I given you at those prices when I should have been charging full price? Yeah. But guess what? That day, I needed to feed my daughters. I needed full price for the T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 100% of my, I'm risking my kids' money, my bill money, all that stuff. That's I said, so that day, I had to, the next day, when I'm all good, I'm giving you a free T-shirt. So, you know what I mean? It shouldn't have been nothing. When I said, he did buy it, but he just made the comment that I charged him full price for it. Like something. It's like, Like, bro, I needed the money that day.
Yeah.
Instead of asking you for a loan, I'm charging full price for a T-shirt that should have been charged full price for a T-shirt anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you
So
should have no problem helping out the homies. I mean,
you shouldn't.
That's
You know what I
the
mean?
homies hustle right
You shouldn't.
there.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Take your money out of the homies
Today,
pocket
you know what I mean?
when
Like,
for a hookup.
I have friends that deal drugs and stuff like that. If we're kicking here partying, they're busting it out and they're just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Today they ain't charging me, but tomorrow they might have to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They might have to re-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my point to him. Is like, you know what I mean? I needed the money at the time. You know what I mean? If I didn't need the money, you would have got a $15 T-shirt, $10
That's
T-shirt.
some real shit right there, though. You know, that's some real shit. Like,
I would risk my all on it. You know what I mean? Like I need it because guess what? Now I got to hurry up and make that light bill. My wife believed in me enough to get the money that we had put aside for light bill to spend it on some T-shirts so I can print the T-shirts. My vision, my idea. Yeah. I did all that. My friends helped me sell it. People helped me promote it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But the finance, all that shit was on my shoulders. You know what I mean? All of it, and it's not, you know, it's not cheap to do a run of shirts. You know what I mean? It's not cheap.
That's dope. That's kind of like inspirational, you know, and like hopefully like a lot of people that listen to this, that kind of inspires them because I know for myself, I've thought about it a lot of times. Oh, I want to make a brand, you know, and a lot of people, my cousin that's living with me right now, that's his thing right now. He wants to make his brand, you know, he's thinking about it. So that's dope, you know, like hopefully like pushes someone to fucking like
I make the
follow some shit, you know, like if you have a vision, fucking follow that shit, invest whatever, because that's what I kind of want to push on this podcast too, because I mean that's what I'm kind of doing at this point in my life. You
gotta
know,
believe in yourself.
I'm willing, I believe in myself, and I'm willing to invest.
And if you love it, if it's something you truly love, and that's the hardest thing in life is to figure out what you truly love and what it's worth, and how to like. Because I want to spread the love. Love is to be given. It's not to be paid for. You can't pay for love, bro. You pay for sex. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay for. She's not going to. The second the sex is over with, she's leaving. You know what I'm saying? Right. You want somebody to lay there with you, to hug you, to kiss you, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with this. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just paying for it, or you know what I mean, if you're just doing something for the money, it's not going to love you. And that was my whole thing with this. Like, it was never about the money. It's about the love. Like I've Instead of charging you to adjust your chain and clean your chain, because you know what you're saying, I'm like, come here, learn how to do it. You can even use my tools. Yeah. Come adjust your own chain and do your own chain. Like that's worth more. That's worth. Think about it. Say you're paying me $40 every time to adjust your chain. You're adjusting your chain once a month, and I just give you the knowledge to adjust your chain. That's $40 times every month times 12. You know what I mean? I just gave you X amount of dollars worth of that. That's how people think about it. And I think about the other way, you know what I mean? Like, I just gave that much money to that person. I just enabled him to do $4,000 more dollars worth of stuff in his lifetime. So I'm helping you grow, you know what I mean? Like,
that's sick.
And the influence has always been addicted to that. I'm addicted to the influence. It's dope that when you're from a bike club, other clubs don't like that bike club, you're not supposed to fuck with that one because it's all the politics and shit. And I loved the fact that I was from a bike club that you know what I mean, like everybody had problems with, but I myself could go anywhere into any other parties wearing my cut. You know what I mean? Jesus Tribe and Rough Riders are infamously in LA known to be enemies. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. More kind of on the Jesus Tribe side, they didn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Rough Riders kind of like worldwide. Rough Riders aren't aware of it, but locally they kind of are. You know? So I could go to the Jesus Tribe events and stuff like that with my cut on and everything. You know what I mean? One of my best friends that passed away was from Jesus Tribe. And so, you know, I was able to go. His brother, you know, was like, you're the only Rough Riders allowed to come. You know what I mean? Just come, you know? Yeah. So it's just like... people have a built-up image about you or something like that. Like I have a reputation, you know what I mean? So I speak myself. I speak loudly. You know, I speak with commitment. You know what I mean? Like I everything I say, I believe in. You know what I mean? Yeah. So people have a problem with me. So people have preconceived notions because they heard about me. Oh, I heard fam, he's gonna rip me off and this and that. And there's somebody like you who like rip you off. He's giving me so much shit free. You know, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who's saying that he's ripping people off? I don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Bad transactions happen all the time. You know. You know, that's where it comes from. Somebody's bitter about a bad transaction or whatever. But I just pride myself on just, you know what I mean, making it right. I could fuck up, but give me a chance to make it right. Sure. At least even if you don't fuck with me anymore, just I want you to know that I didn't fuck you on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But something happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never tried to fuck nobody over in my life. You know what I mean? Not even if I knew that they, like, if they were unhappy or they're gonna talk, you know, they're gonna talk shit no matter what. Even though I knew they weren't gonna be happy, I still wanted to make it right. Just you know, leave that karma out there.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, karma's real.
Yeah.
You mentioned the homie that passed away. I'm sure being in the bike scene for so long, you have so many homies that passed away, dog.
I've physically seen people pass away in front of me.
Like, do you ever think of fucking
all of them
not riding? Do you ever think of like?
Nah.
You don't think I never like stopped?
Believe
riding,
it or not, no.
You never stopped.
Okay, I was in the middle. I'm from the hood back home, from San Jose, California. 7 Trees, the hood.
Okay.
Walking to school in elementary school. Where I lived with my way to school. The quickest way to school was through this alleyway from, like, there's apartments, a bunch of it's like townhouses, you know. So there's a back alley you can go to, and a hole through the fence. A hole through the fence to go through the backyard of the school, like where the playground's
like playground and shit, baseball fields,
playground, all that shit, and then the school's on the other side. So instead of walking all the way around, we'd go through the cut. But on Mondays, probably like at least once a month, Sunday nights they would drop bodies there.
Oh shit!
Right there where the cut and the fence is. So we're guaranteed to see a dead body once a month.
Damn.
Going through the cut, we go through the cut to go to school, and there's like, you know, a whole school of kids. There's probably 500 kids in there. There's probably like 80 of us go through that cut or something like that. You know what I mean? Damn. They live in the townhouses right there, in 7 Trees. You know what I mean? So we're going through the cut. There's dead body there. So back to my point is, I've seen dead bodies a lot. You know what I mean? I was in the military. I went to Iraq and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I seen some shit. You know?
Yeah.
I know more people to die on a motorcycle than all of my life seeing dead bodies. Think about it. At least once a month. I went to that school from kindergarten to 5th grade. At least once a month, you see a dead body there. You calculate that up. In the military, calculate that up, and I still know more people that died since I've been in the stunt scene here in LA. I still know more people. The wall could be crazy filled. When I was a prospect, my prospect manager, the guy's in charge of you, he died.
Fuck.
He died the night I got vested. I got vested in like the night I was supposed to get vested. He died that day, and it delayed my vesting 3 months because we didn't have a prospect manager and all that stuff. But, you know, and his death and all that stuff. Like, it just so I was. It was just
not even a concern.
Not even prospecting. People,
your prospecting was not even a concern.
Yeah, we're doing funeral rides and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So me getting my vest on that night, I was supposed to get my vest. Me getting my vest was delayed 3 months because my prospect manager died. Yeah. And I was actually in the military. It's a crazy story, you know. I'm military, and then I come out here with my friend from military. He lives in El Monte. I end up out in the IE, and I'm prospecting for Rough Riders now. And my prospect manager looks from here, and we start talking, and we were in the military together. Yeah, like,
that's a small ass world.
Small world. Yeah, he was in the Marine Corps with me, and we had been on the same ship, going to Iraq together. And I remembered him because I played spades. So we had a spades tournament on ship.
Oh, shit.
And I remember him because, you know, if you play spades, everybody play spades, goes, you know, to a certain area and play spades, play money games and stuff, you know. But I played spades with him on ship, you know, going to Iraq, you know, in 96.
That's crazy.
And then I ended up prospecting for him in Rough Riders, you know what I mean? Because he was an older black dude. And anyways, yeah, he died. That delayed it. And even when I was prospecting, members from our thing died. I don't know if you know what Double Day is. Double Day is like the for the IE. Double Day's in Rancho, right? It's a street where all the street racing used to happen, and stunt riding is like the first stunt spot too.
Okay. I don't think I heard of it, but
yeah, if on a lot of old stunt videos, you'll see like the old, you know, stunt videos. They're running from a car. It looks like a car meet, but they're running from Double Day. You know, it's in Ontario.
Oh, the Ontario spot.
That's it. Yeah, Ontario
spot.
Ontario spot. Yeah. It's called, the street is Double Day.
Okay. So
yeah, I seen one of my Rough Rider brothers die on Double Day.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he was doing a wheelie, and came down, and hit a curb because he was going sideways a little bit. When he came down, He's kind of chasing him, learning how to do high chair.
Oh,
he's
okay,
doing
yeah,
wheelie.
on the tank and shit.
Yeah, on the tank, high chair wheelie, and swayed a little bit on the street. When he came down, he was pointing at the curb where the intersection was. Hit the curb. He flew into the tree and died.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, I seen a kid jump on the freeway. You've ever seen? There's a video we made for with Famous Stars and Straps. They were doing if you look in Famous Warehouse Ride. It was a Christmas sale, and it was Famous Warehouse 2009. It's 09. Okay. And some videos come up like me and Capone. Rest in peace, Capone, my brother. Yeah. So rest in peace, Capone. Some videos will come up. The Warehouse Ride 09 of us, but we did a video with Jay Beats and Warren James, and it was a big street ride we did in Ontario. Anyways, on that ride, right after that ride, that Warehouse Ride, some guys that came with us were going back to LA, and they jump on the freeway. Right there, and we're all leaving. He jumps on the freeway, cracks a wheelie, and there's 4 guys in front of him. But he crashes his bike on the freeway. He looped it a little bit, and he lands in one lane. And his bike slid and was sliding to the next lane over. So he went to go grab his bike to stop it from sliding, and a diesel truck hit him right there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the list is crazy long, crazy long. The people that I knew personally, I knew. Actually, not like stunt riding.
Not even just stunning.
Not even stunning, but yeah.
Just in
general.
I mean,
that adds.
Either way, yeah, because I mean, I know a lot. Yeah, either way, just in general, like.
I mean, everybody does wheelies, here and there. But yeah, like I mean, I know. Yeah, the homie from Illegal.
Havoc.
Yeah, Havoc. Yeah, I mean,
Havoc.
Rumor was he was cracking a wheelie when he died. I don't know if that's true or not.
Havoc, not.
Nobody was there. But supposedly a car passed him or something. He was doing a wheelie in the fast lane, and that's what got him loose to where he ended up over the guardrail onto the other side. Oh shit! Unless he fell asleep, but I'm sure he was wide awake. He called me that night. Crazy ass shit. He called me that night. Left me a voicemail. I was working in the garage. He called me, and I hadn't gotten a call from him in a long time. And so he said, "Yo, Family's Havoc, I want to get at you, man. I see you still doing your stunt thing, this and that. Give me a call back." He was at the bar and at the wherever they were kicking it at, or it was TGI Fridays or something like that. And he left there when he died. And he had called me right before he went to go hang out there. And I got that message. You know what I mean? And he had left me a message. I think it was Facebook at the time. He left me a message on Facebook too. So he was trying to get at me for something. And you know what I mean? And I don't know what it was for now. You know what I mean? Build him a bike or something because he was instant to he was. Yeah. But I mean, dude, I mean, yeah. They died in just motorcycling. The thing about this is that the good thing about it is that people want to understand like riding motorcycle kind of freedom it feels like. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people from the military and a lot of people get out of jail or whatever. They find if they find motorcycles or they knew it before then, it's everything because being on a motorcycle, just riding regular with the wind in your face is so free. You're so free.
Nothing compares. Nothing compares.
Yeah,
nothing
you're so free. You can do anything you want at that moment. Anything you want. You know what I mean? But you can also be sitting at a fucking stoplight and get fucking rear-ended by an idiot on cell phone or just drunk or what. I mean, you can die doing nothing because you're on a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the freedom that comes with it, so that's why wheeling in the streets is so like, you know what I mean? Just so much more about it than
that rush. That rush is like, I know for sure that rush is just like,
addictive.
Yeah,
it's addictive.
Like, is there a cop around here?
It's
like,
addictive.
you get that green light, and you're cruising, and you're like turning around, like, all right, there's no cops. Boom, boom, boom. Fucking throw it up and bring it down. You have to hope that there's no cops that heard you. You're still turning around, like
you gotta be alert. You gotta be aware.
Everything about it is
pedestrians.
It's a rush. Yeah,
like other cars. You know what I mean? They can just turn into your lane and just not see you. I ride a motorcycle. I've been riding a motorcycle for hella years. Oh, yeah. I still cut bikers off. I still don't see bikers. I look for them. You know what I mean? I look for them. I know that I've been into 3 accidents. We were talking about accidents.
Oh yeah.
I have I have a titanium rod in my right leg. I have my left ankle. I shattered that thing and have 17 screws and a couple plates.
Fuck.
I cracked 5 ribs and punctured my lung.
Fuck.
But those were all stunt riding. Those are all stunt riding. Like stunt when I was good. I didn't break a bone. We were talking about that earlier. That's we kind of
Yeah.
back to that story. I hadn't broken a bone in any sports, football, military, nothing. I had never broken a bone in my life. I learned how to wheelie. Learning how to wheelie and all that stuff, you would think, you know what I mean? Like you're learning, you don't know what you're doing, this and that. Learning how to wheelie, no broken bones at all. Professional, doing stunt shows and this and that, and breaking bones.
Fuck.
Yeah. Doing something, you know, because what happens is like you get so good at it that you file it away as it's in your brain. It's no longer grab the brake, let go of the throttle. You know what I mean? All the thought process of it doesn't exist anymore. You're like, okay, sit down, Willie, or this or that, you know? So the more and more tricks you do, the more complacent you get about basic stuff. You know what I mean? So then,
and that's not something you could be fucking complacent. That's not.
You can't be complacent about it.
You
can't be complacent. That's where my lifestyle and the partying and all that stuff starts to hit, because I started becoming status-wise. I started becoming to the point where I'm doing shows and getting, you know, music videos and stuff like that.
We're at 1 hour 30.
All right.
Music videos. I'm doing stunt shows for music videos and stuff like that, you know? So you start to get to that status where you're elite, but then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your skill level is there to where people are paying for it, you know?
Hell yeah.
But I'm still just living the lifestyle, you know?
That's sick, man.
It's good. You know what I mean? It's good for the soul. It's good for the heart. I never compromise myself. You know what I mean?
That's good, bro.
I never compromise myself. But then you're older, and like now family is takes the forefront. The most important thing to me. You know what I mean? You had risked so much shit. You know what I mean? Like, you had risked so much shit. You know what I mean? You're out there just enjoying.
Would you say
life.
it's worth it?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I just say do what you love, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, when you die, you can't take nothing with you. You know what I mean? All you have is your memories. You know what I mean? You know what love feels like because you fell in love. You gave yourself a chance to fall in love. You know what pain feels like because you tried to get love and got pain instead. You know what I'm saying? Like, so those feelings, that's what we're here for. You know what I mean? That's what, to be able to identify that feeling is nothing. Yes. And the more and more you do it, the more and more you get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like the more and more you ride your bike, or more and more the better it is. The better you're gonna get. And so just you know what I mean? Feeling all those great feelings. You know, we're here to experience that.
Live the life.
I've money. That shit. You know what I mean? Like.
Hell yeah.
You know, I wish I could have saved or would have, you know, saved more, but would I have lived more? It was a question.
You seem happy, dog.
I'm good.
You seem happy.
I feel like I'm a different person.
Like,
I'm enlightened.
I love it.
I'm enlightened. You know what I mean? I went through some of the toughest times of my life the past 2 years, but it's shit. I want to. When you self-awareness is, you know what I mean, is the biggest thing for me.
What? Because I'm kind of going through that too, you know, and like personally, I've made like sacrifices, like, you know, like I cut off drinking for a month, cut off fucking like what kind of like sacrifices or what mental things have you done to like, all right, you know what, I need to fucking do this to make this happen, or like what could you say like?
Because the biggest thing all my life I've been proud that I'm myself. Like one of my friends is like, oh, fucking fam, he's an asshole, but he's always that person. You know what I'm saying? He used to call me an asshole because I was blunt to him. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Probably more blunt to him than anybody because he knew who I was and I seen who he was. So I'm gonna be truthful to you. I'm not, if I know you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna treat you like this person that you are to all these other people. You're who you are to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was my thing with him. I knew him, so I'm gonna treat him. So he called me an asshole because I would just be blunt with him. I'm straight with him. Yeah. But it's just because I know you and you know me. I can't be blunt with you if you don't know me, because you think I'm being rude or whatever or intruding and stuff. But if I truly let myself out to you, you know what I mean? And I try to do that with as many people as possible, because it's the only way I think you can get free, like real friendship, and real relationship the most out of people. It's like you're not going to gain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not going to gain if you want to fall in love with a person, you got to risk being hurt or feeling that pain. So I always say, like, I'm going to give it, and if I don't get it back, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I want it. I'm going to give it because I want it back. So I've always been the first person, like, you know what I mean? Like, people, like, respect me. Whatever. I've always been the first person to give respect to anybody.
That's right.
First. You know what I mean? And then when I start getting disrespected, then I'm taking. But I always gave the respect first, not because I'm scared of the person or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that's part of my awareness in my life has been like, you got to give it first. How you expect to get it without giving it? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't understand unless it goes back to like, okay, I worked for it, I paid for it, or I'm in this thing, so they expect it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Coming back to all that.
Yeah, but if for me, I've never paid for any of that stuff. Like I've never paid for sex. I never, you know what I mean? Like I can get ass. I mean, I have to. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, preach to that.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the military, so I said a false statement. I have paid for it before. but you know, when you're
now like, hey, fuck
yeah,
it. You know,
I don't want to lie on myself. You know what I mean? I have paid for sex before. But what I mean is, you know what I mean, I'm not the person that pays for sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stressed out. You know what I mean? But when you're overseas for a year, you know what I mean, you got to relieve yourself.
When you're 20 years old or 20 something, fuck it. You know, you're living your life. You're fucking making experiences.
So it is an experience. You know what I mean? Paying for it is an experience.
Yeah.
But my point is that, you know, I've always believed I've never paid to try to get, you know, for people's friendship or this, you know.
Try to use your
some type of influence
advantage. Use your whatever as an advantage.
I'm just use me, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna dress good, and, you know what I mean? You're gonna know I'm clean because my shoes are clean. You're gonna know I'm clean, you know what I mean? Just it's always been off of set the example.
That's right.
When you're from the hood or you're from a hood or urban in the urban area, let's say, you
grow up when you grow up in a hood.
You grow up in the hood.
Yeah.
You need to read people as fast as possible, but you also need to let yourself be read as fast as possible, so people who know who you are. You know what I mean? Because there's deals or something going down that require instant trust. You know what I mean? And also you can go into a deal where you know you're not getting that, so this is not. You can read the situation.
Yeah.
So since a young age, I've been having to read situations, so I get into something. So I'm reading. I always presented myself to try to be read as much as possible, if I wanted to be. You know what I mean? In a situation where somebody's coming in, and to me, and it's a positive situation. You know, you're not on the streets trying to guard yourself. I'm here, and somebody's introducing me to you. I want to be read, so I'm gonna present myself, you know, that way. So that's where the demeanor and just being upfront, you know, try to. People know that I'm a genuine person. You know what I mean? I'm not here trying to rip you off. I'm not in for the money and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, bills need to be paid. You know, kids need to be fed. Yeah. And that's some of the stuff that this year is going to you know, these past 2 years, this takes the forefront for me. Oh yeah. Now, so people, I say the regrets about you know, the opportunities that I just enjoyed away instead of thinking about it as a building block or something like that, you know. You know, they start to weigh on you a little bit. You know what I mean? They start to weigh on you. I could have been a millionaire already. I turned down millions of dollars already, you know, in the game already. Yeah. So I've been offered back, you know, at the height of the popularity of Stuntfarm. You know, I was offered money, crazy money for different things. I just didn't want to compromise.
How does that feel for you now? Like thinking about it and shit.
I mean,
like, you can't think about it too much, huh? Like,
if I weigh it out and I think about it, and I just say at the time I was being true to myself. You know what I mean?
That's right.
At the time I was being true to myself, and now, you know what I mean? You offer me the same amount of money I was offered to do the same thing today. I would do it today at today's time. You know what I mean? At this present time, because I'm older. I'm just ready to. I'm ready to. You know what I mean?
That's cool though, because you know, like how you kind of talked about earlier, like how we said, like everything kind of works out, you know, and just because you turn down that money then doesn't mean that it can't come today. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't mean that those possibilities are still done or that something greater ain't in the works. You know,
like for sure.
Like how we've been talking about, you know, like like you get high, and sometimes you get knocked down, but you're only gonna get higher that next time. So just because like you might have taken those, but you still can't be like, oh fuck, like you gotta just be like, all right, well fuck, I'm back down here, but hey, you know what? This shit's gonna crack off again. This shit's gonna, and like. And that's kind of what I think, like from how everything we've been talking, like
every time you get knocked down, every time
it's
like I said, I hit the reset button, but it's easier and easier and easier to hit the reset button. I've been all the way down to the bottom. I'm not scared to go to the bottom. I know where the bottom's at. I know what position I'll be in, what I have to do. I'm more scared today to go down to the bottom because I have responsibilities. I have people's lives that I'm responsible for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm more scared to go down to the bottom, and it's evident. I got a regular job now, you know what I mean, stuff like that. I hadn't had a job for 18 years, you know.
Yeah.
It was all about the brand and living what I'm doing, the money. Yeah. I'm just moving, you know what I mean. I'm just moving. Like I'm looking at my skills. It's like, okay, I can build custom bikes, and I can just regularly work on bikes, and I can just make some clothing off the money off the brand here, and I can do this and that.
Yeah.
So I was just living off of what I was doing for 18 years, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, I don't want to make those risks anymore because I don't want to have to.
All right, I feel you.
If I hit the reset button, it's gonna affect everybody around me.
You can't really fuck around anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't fuck around.
I do still. I still ride. I'm still hitting street rides. I'm still.
No, I mean, like as far as like financially though and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
It's like, just all, but all that kind of you are when you do that. Like I said,
oh yeah, when you're riding.
If I get locked up.
Yeah.
From riding.
If you fall.
If I fall, like I said, until I became professional was when I started falling, and I broke my right leg one time, the first time, and then I broke my left ankle another time, and seeing and experiencing how that affects everything, that's shaping me right now. It's like that was a risk. Just riding was a risk. Riding in shows is a risk. This and that. So now if I'm going to ride, it's gotta make sense. It's gotta pay or this or that. You know what I mean? Crazy,
huh? How when you grow up, you start like analyzing everything.
And I knew all that back then, but I had so many. You know,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Irrelevant. You don't think about it.
But I had set myself up to. I wanted to be into stunt riding. You know what I mean? It was everything to me. But I set myself up for multiple streams and I have multiple talents, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If I can lay colors and all this stuff on a motorcycle just as easy, I can lay it on a t-shirt with the right phrases and this and that.
Yeah.
And laying colors out and dropping colors and not just being one dimensional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Black t-shirt type, company, but just dropping the colors and the different kinds of garment and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I started doing that stuff and loving what I was doing, you know what I mean? And that's what enabled me to do what I was able to do and make the influence. I'm not done yet. I'm marking my
back on the grind, huh?
Yeah.
Like
I'll be willing. I'm 40. I'll be willing well past 50.
Oh yeah.
Well past 50.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I want to be a cool grandpa one day. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Fuck. My grandson would be like, fuck my dad. You know what I mean? My grandpa does wheelies on motorcycles.
This was a legend. Look at YouTube.
Yeah.
Fuck, look at this fucking. This one's been in the game.
Yeah, my grandpa does wheelies on motorcycles. Your grandpa, my fucking grandpa does wheelies on motorcycles. You know what I'm saying? Like, one day I'm about to say that. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, all old and shit, beard, huh? Big ass beard, all gray, fucking.
Yeah, I'm still with style, with swag and stuff like that. It's funny because I have a 25-year-old son, and his girlfriend was moving, and I went to go help them move. I showed up, and her dad is the same age as me. Man, I show up, and I'm in dunks, some camo shorts and shit, a hat. You know what I mean? I get out all tattooed up and all blasted up and stuff. He asked her dad asked, one of Miguel's friends came to help you. That's nice of him. And she's like, that's his dad. That's his dad. He like, oh, shit. He looks at me. I look like one of the 25-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
They thought I was my son's friend.
That's dope. Does it happen a lot?
It happens a lot. Yeah. It happens a lot.
That's dope. So I hope I could be like that, dog.
I want to be a cool,
my son. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. People ask they see my son or some of my son's friends from college or something that come around. My son's a teacher at a private school in Downey.
Oh shit.
He's a PE teacher.
Oh dope.
Yeah. So you know, when his friends come over or something like that, like that's his dad. Like, yeah.
But he doesn't ride. Your son doesn't ride or anything like that, nah.
He was a soccer player and he went to school and now he's a PE teacher. He wants to be a college professor.
That's dope. Oh yeah, that's
so,
dope.
Yeah, he don't ride. You know what I mean? He don't drink or anything.
That's cool.
It's funny, like, you know. And
he was never really into bikes when he was little. Or
yeah, like dirt bikes and stuff like that. But he played soccer, so he was travel soccer too.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So that was
and he got his scholarship in school. He went to Kentucky, and then
that's dope.
He got his graduates. And now he's got his masters and all that stuff. You know, to do what he does. Like he rode dirt bikes and quads and stuff like that. Yeah. It's funny because his mom, when he was younger, he's like, when I was building bikes. He was in junior high. Elementary school, actually, yeah, just junior high, 6th grade, I think. And when he came to live with me for a year, I'm in Rough Riders. I'm already like building stunt bikes. I'm already doing wheelies. That's already there. Yeah. And I'm already building bikes. There's always like hundreds of bikes at my house. 30 bikes, 20 bikes, or something. Working on her, I'm building one or something, and she's like, you can't. When he turned 16, she's like, you can't have a motorcycle. Like, there's no way I'm gonna let your dad build you a motorcycle. So he knew that for a long time. So last year on his birthday, he's like, I'm old enough now. I want you to build me a bike.
Oh shit!
So I'm actually working on a bike for him, his first bike.
Dope.
But it kind of scares me, but
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like you got.
What could you do? You know?
Yeah. If he really wanted one, he's gonna get one.
Yeah.
Anyways.
At least you built it. It's gonna be fucking A1.
Yeah, and he's gonna bring it by my house for maintenance and keep it up and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So. But yeah, he wants a cafe racer bike.
Hey,
yeah, but made out of a street bike. We're gonna build a cafe racer style.
All right. Yeah.
With the bars down. The subframe short. Yeah. Cafe racer looking bike, but street bike.
That's dope.
Yeah. So he wants a cafe racer. We're building it out of a 09.
That's dope.
Oh, our 13 plus frame, 13 plus.
Cowie?
Yeah, the Cowie. It's gonna be like sharp looking.
All right.
Like a cafe racer, but like a futuristic cafe racer.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, we're gonna change the tank a little bit and make it look a little bit more cafe racer-ish.
That's dope.
Have that. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was dope having you. You want to say anything to the people? You want to shout out your fucking brand? Say your Instagram for your anything. So
yeah, my Instagram is @fam_stuntfarm, and then the brand has an Instagram. It's @stuntfarm, and stuntfarm.com is the website. It's up, and new gear's coming next month. We're in October right now. Mid-November, right around Thanksgiving time, just in time for Christmas. We're gonna start dropping a weekly drop every week. It'll be on.
That's right.
It'll be on the Instagram.
Back in business, baby.
Yeah, back in business, trying to do it all again.
Oh yeah. Thanks for coming out, my boy.
Sure. Cheers.
Cheers.